About 5 minutes. Live chat. And I'll talk in a minute. I ain't got much. I'm just gonna talk about something I'm doing here in the future. Oh, if y'all come in, like, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, even if you watch it later. And even if you don't like it, give it a like anyway. Somebody else might like it. Okay. And definitely comment. Comments are good. They help the channel. Even if you hate the channel, you can comment. Okay, that's different. So y'all, I'm watching videos on desk organization. And I've been watching different ones. I still have my L desk in here, but I'll be getting a totally different desk. I just right now I was gonna order a desk from Walmart that I like the look. Well, it's actually on Amazon too, but it's cheaper at Walmart. I really like the look of it. But as I was watching some other videos, I saw some desk things for IKEA that aren't bad. And the desk I have in my room is an IKEA desk that I don't even think you can get anymore. It has a glass top that has love in all the different languages, right? And it's on some sawhorses. I got an entire desk from there. Flatbed, what's up, baby? Yep, we in 2024 and it's weird. How you at? How are you? And what part of the country you in? And I'm just chin wagging right now about my desk dilemma. So right now I saw a desk and I'll jump in there. But tell me where you at in the country. Oh, you in Florida? Okay, okay. That's child. That's what I'm sitting in my house right now. I hate going out flatbed. Today I went out. It took me. I said I got up at 10 on that video. I actually was probably up because I woke up at 7 because I get up early because the company I work for, my shift in training is 7 to 4, 7:30 to 4, and we were in office for 2 weeks. Delphi, what's up, baby? Um, Flatbed Delphi's going into trucking. Just so you know, she going to Swift to start off. Yeah, yeah, Delphi was you. Yeah, she going to Swift to start off. So flatbeds and trucking too. Um, in flatbed, I've always presumed you're a female. Are you a female flatbed? I've been calling you sis, so I'm presuming you're a female. I got female. That's what I just glanced. Rolling with Big O. I knew Big O. That's a brother, and he's a trucker, and he's new to the channel. Get your time in and go local. I'm a woman, yes, ma'am. I love it. Just get your time in and go local. I didn't talk to her about local. I'll talk about that later at the end. I'll talk about that at the end. I'll do some conversation with her at the end. Because last time when she told me she's going to Swift, I'm like, perfect. You Swift gonna put you through everything under the sun. Most of the starter companies do. You're gonna go through. You're gonna be pissed. By the time you get done, you're like, why is I actually like what in my first year I did almost exactly a year and went back into corporate America. They had me hot. I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And went back to corporate America for a hot minute, and then I got on with the company in Utah, which actually wouldn't have been a bad company, but a lot. And the other thing to know is a lot of them are related. They all cousins and brothers and sisters and all that Mormons, all related to each other in some form or fashion, either married to each other or related to each other. So like Swift, Knight, CR England, them is all family. Pride Transport, them all family. They all related. They all they all are related to each other. Um, yeah, you got to find a really unique company to make money in OTR as an owner op. I think Trucker Nikki did it when she was with she would have did it with Sarah England as a trainer, and then starter companies you can do it, but you got to train regional. Okay, yeah. Initially, you do it that first 6 months to a year to travel. I mean, that was the fun part. I didn't make no money, and Trucker Bill said you ain't gonna make no money in that first year, which is true. I mean, at least when I started, you might make more now, but I really honestly did not make money in it initially. Um, y'all forgive me. So I got up this morning. What time I get up this morning? I got up this morning. I was woke up at 7. Went to the bathroom a couple times. I've been peeing a lot. I gotta go get my blood sugar checked again. But I just got back on cinnamon. So cinnamon helps. If you guys are diabetic or borderline diabetic, make sure you add cinnamon tablets to your diet. It helps with your sugar metabolism and keeps you hopefully out of the insulin arena. But I am on metformin. So got up this morning, peed, lay back down, went back, peed again. And think I'm leveling out now because I was peeing a lot, which usually meant my sugar was off. Oh, wow. Do you own your truck flatbed? Because that's the engine. That's rebuilding the engine almost. Pretty much. Um, and finally I got up and I was gonna go to the grocery store about 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning. That didn't happen. That did not happen. So I ended up doing a few things and sat here and just was in a vegetative state of I really the hell don't want to go out this house to go to the store. And I got stuff to do in this house, but I didn't want to go to the store. But they had stuff on sale because I tried to go Friday after work, go to my Latino store, the Mexican grocery store called Food City. Unfortunately, I'll read that in a second. Unfortunately, they didn't have stuff on sale. They was high as hell. So I'm like, oh man, I gotta go to Ghetto Fries because Ghetto Fries had sales on what I was hoping normally they have on sale. It wasn't on sale. So I was like, I'm gonna have to go to Ghetto Fries, but I wasn't doing it that night. So I got a few things there and then brought my black tail back home. I pulled a shrimp out and I'm probably gonna do ceviche here between now and tomorrow. Supposed to be doing the refrigerator. The refrigerator's getting done this weekend. By either tonight or tomorrow, it's getting done. I've got to go in there, clean it out. It's getting done. By hook or by crook, it's got to be done. So I got to go in there, bleaching it out, cleaning it out, going in and seeing what's expired, and doing a good deep clean. So that'll be done tomorrow, between now and tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, because right now I'm just like, because it's gonna be an hour. It's gonna be at least an hour or two event going through. Because I'm shelf by shelf. Then I get my boiling water. I got my bleach spray because when I do that, I'm gonna do a deep clean. That means I'm gonna wipe it out and then I'm come back around and do. I have a who has a good bleach cleaning spray is Walmart, and they got this bleach cleaner and it's great. I used to even keep it on the truck. It's wonderful, and it's bleach because you can smell it. It's like solid bleach, and I use that. So I'm gonna do a bleach clean of it and get it cleaned out. And I got some pineapples in there I need to probably cut up. I don't know if I'll start the grill. I might smoke them. I do a smoky salsa. I don't know, I might do that. Linda was talking about it. She's like, girl, I remember that salsa. She said it was hot, but it's okay. I sniffed because Linda cannot handle it. She does not handle hot food good. But she said that flavor was so on point. It was so smoky. And like what I do is I usually take all my, every vegetable that's going to be in there, the onions, jalapenos, cilantro, garlic. If I have whole garlic, I do the garlic. All any vegetable that's gonna go up in there, I put it basically. I have on a little grill vegetable pan with the little holes in it, and I put that on the side. And I get my grill heated up, and I throw the wood on there, and I just let it sit and smoke. And then I take that and I put it in the blender, and that's my and even pineapple. If I do a pineapple salsa, I'll cut the pineapple up, put it on there, let it smoke, and then I blend it all together, and then I pour it in some jars, and that's my smoky. I call it my smoky salsa. So I do that, and then I even do that for another salsa that I'll use. And like when Joe would come by, back in the day when I was at the other apartment complex, I would make I make Bloody Marys out of it. So I do a smoke. I do the salsa, and I use the salsa for a Bloody Mary, and it blows your mind, blows your brains out your head. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I did. But yeah, I got to get in there. I got to do a deep clean, and I've been trying to cook more at home except for fresh vegetables. And I got to get back in the back patio because that's the other thing. I went to the grocery store and I didn't realize that I had bought. I needed some Romas. I was out of Roma tomatoes. And still, this time of year, you're going to have to get tomatoes fresh because here in Arizona, it's too cold now or too cool to grow your tomatoes. But they're getting tomatoes from other places like Mexico and, people who have maybe have greenhouses and they grow the tomatoes in there. And I probably could put a little mini greenhouse thing up. And then some people do these little tents inside their house and they'll grow vegetables that aren't normally vegetables grown at this time of the year in the house. And then they'll hand pollinate. I could do that. I think that's a little extra for me. But I'm probably I need to I'm gonna do some raised beds. And then a couple of bags will be in the raised beds. And then I'll have a side that I'm gonna do the bags still because I have a lot of bags. So I'm gonna use those. I don't want to waste them. But I'm gonna end up doing probably one or two raised beds out in the back. Um, and start going that way. And then I need to get a drip system in there. That needs to get done. And another reason I want to do raised beds is I want to be able to screen it in because I have an issue with lizards, buzzards, and I have an issue with insects. And so I really kind of got, um, I wasn't feeling it this year because I ran into insect issues, either the tomato hornworm, the lizards. The other one was kicking my butt when I tried it one time was the ants. They were eating up my what do you call them? The strings that are long, the yard long strings. So they were eating those up. But yeah, I want to get back out there. I want to get my own vegetables going again. I really do. I wish I had property because if I had property, I'll be honest, I have chickens and quails, chicken eggs and quail eggs. I would. I don't know if I would use them for meat. You could, I guess. But I think I want my chickens more for eggs and probably eggs and the quail eggs for eggs too. And then the only other animal that I would probably want, I wouldn't want beef. Cows are too much for me, but I wouldn't mind lamb. I wouldn't mind lamb or goat because you can do goat milk and you can do goat meat and you can do lamb and you can do the wool from. I don't care about the wool as much, but I guess you could sell the wool. There are lambs that don't have the wool as much, so you have to hire somebody to shear because I'm not shearing out no lamb. But there's different types of lamb. I guess you can get based on what their hair is. So you can get some that are less hectic to maintain the wool, because otherwise you have to hire somebody to come shear the lambs unless you're gonna do it yourself. And I watch people shear, and I'm like, that's some work. I mean, they're shearing and they do it for a minute. And they turn them over, they cut them, and you got to know how to cut them because you don't want to clip them because you don't want infection in the skin. There's a whole bunch to it. But I wouldn't mind the lamb because I do like lamb meat. I also wouldn't mind the goats. I don't so much drink goat milk, but you do goat cheese and other things with the goat. You can still use the goat meat, probably, or goat milk for cooking, but I don't know that I would drink goat milk. Even though Africans from our cultural ancestry, that is one of the things that we did was goat milk. And I've had goat cheese. I like goat cheese. It's a little tart, but I do like it. It depends on how it's used, but I enjoy it. Um, let me see here what we got going on. Let me read what y'all wrote. Uh, and Happy New Year to y'all too. Oh, let's see here. Okay, so you turned it in around Christmas time. Yeah, there's a point. I think Trucker Nikki had kind of had a similar situation. She had gotten her truck from CR England, took it over to I think Interstate when they were doing. They had Interstate had that really good lease program or owner op program where people come over and they pick their loads, and so she was doing really well. That's how she bought her house and stuff here. And she said that was doing well, and then all of a sudden start having mechanical issues. And she said she ended up at one of them shops, and next thing it was like cray cray the money that she, and so I think she let it go too, something like that. I don't know all the details, but yeah. And so then she came here and she did local for a while. She was doing stuff like she did some of our freeway with the pavement. She also did the recycle, like the trash trucks, not trash, but the big trucks with the trash where you empty those and go get those. She did that. Now she's back kind of semi OTR. She's working. So what happened is somebody she knew from England, I think that lady owns several trucks. So she went and she's using one of those trucks, kind of like, I guess she gets to pick her loads, and then she gives her a percentage of whatever with the cost of the load. She gets a kickback, and Nikki, so that's what she's doing. And she just finally sold her house because she was trying to sell her house, and she says she's on a cruise right now, and she had a really bad health situation happen while she was over the road, but she's on a cruise right now. And I think she said she's come back. She should be back because she told me, I picked you up something. I don't know if she picked me up, but I thank her from her two trips. I think she's in Puerto Rico and somewhere else. Um, and so, and I'm sure just a lot of people right now, there's a lot going on. I'll be talking to my Christian channel about that because I know with the war in Jerusalem, with us being involved in war things, a lot of things aren't being disclosed to us here, but we're literally in that war as well. Um, I think they're trying to downplay it under the Biden administration because he doesn't want it to negatively impact, quote unquote, his election chances, which honestly I really don't want him or Trump, but it's in God's hands. So that's just my personal. I think both of them is way too hell too old, and I also do not want old girl. What's her name? What's the chick who run with him? I forgot her name. Kamala, whatever. I don't want her neither. God bless her. I think she's a gorgeous sister. I think she's highly intelligent. I just no, not for president. No. Um, Biden's too old. Trump is crazy. I can't. I can't. That's it, Kamala. I can't. Neither one of them. None of all three. Zero. Out. Bye bye. And the sad part is we don't have any good candidates. So, um, yeah, it's everybody crazy right now. So I'm expecting exactly what it to be, just straight craziness. But anyway, they don't want to say it, but we are in war. Anytime you got drones blowing up stuff in Iraq and other, child, we in a war. That's a war. And there's a lot coming to that. We just gonna leave it there. I'm leave it in God's hands. I just, as I say when I said at the end of my thing, make sure y'all got a relation with the Lord because things is weird. So I think that a lot of people, we're coming to 2024 and it's a new year. You got people trying to make resolutions, but people who are still trying to wrap their head around everything from COVID to now because things are so significantly different. There is no way anybody can tell me that everything, actually, we can even go before COVID, from Trump getting in office going forward, things have been extra weird. Okay. I think we marked it as COVID. COVID took it to a whole nother level, but the pink folks hanging off the White House was enough for us, for me to go, wow, things are crazy. And just, we never had a president who was as touched as old boy. And it was just kind of like, wow. So all of that happening, this extremes that people are on, extremes one side or the other, and just, when I grew up in America, it didn't matter. The thing about America has always been great. Yes, we have a strong Christian presence, but even if I set that on the table, we were a group that, okay, you're Jewish, you're Christian, you're Muslim, you're a Satanist, you're whatever. Okay, cool. We just gonna respect each other, have the right to have the right too, and you do this, that, and the other thing. But then it became more of it feels like a pushing match that I'm trying to force my thought process and ideals onto somebody else. I share Christianity, but guess what? If that's not what you want to do, that's not what you want to do. Do you, boo boo? Ain't got nothing to do with me. That's between you, the Lord, and whoever else. And if it's something that I don't agree with, like I was using an example of my buddy and his family situation and the nephew who stays in the house who smokes weed. That's not something I agree with. However, as long as you don't bring that into my space, I can jack with you. I'm just not going to jack with you in your house. Now, if I find that that's something you're doing and it's going to possibly invade or have any impact on your and my friendship, it's been real. Love for you, pray for you. I'm going to go my way, you can go yours. It's just where I'm at. But again, you got the right to. You got the right to. You got that. You got the right to. Yes, you do. You do. All right, we in here. I'm going to share this with y'all real quick, and then we'll talk about something else. So, and then I'll look at the comments. So, in prior videos a while back, probably right around COVID, right around that time frame, I had, I'm going to read that in a minute. Delphi. I'll read that in a minute. I had a plan, and I'll do like a separate video on it. But I was planning to try to do this. It's a thing that a lot of people did where you do it, like some people do it as a $5 challenge, $10 challenge, $20. And some people just take the money when you had, you go to the store or whatever, you have extra cash and you have a $5 bill, you would put that $5 bill in like a container. And then at the end of a year, you would see how much you saved. And some people did phenomenal. Well, I was going to try that. But the problem is during COVID, I ended up having a lot of my groceries delivered. And then also, if I did go to the store, oftentimes I don't use cash. Most of us don't anymore. We use our card, okay? It is rare that I really have cash. I get a kickback from cash every blue moon. Sometimes because I'm going to laundromat, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do the coin laundromat or I'm going to do the coinless. I typically go to the coinless, even though it's more expensive because it's just better maintained. And while we do get homeless in there, it's handled to me much better than the coin operated one. And the coin operated one, while cheaper, it's a really small parking lot. So you got to, trying to get in there is a pain. It's right off the light where it's a pain. It's a pain. but it's cheaper. It is a lot cheaper to do your laundry there. But unfortunately, their homeless population is bad. Hey, Kathy, what's up? Happy New Year. I'm chin wagging and I'm gonna go back and read comments and reply because Delphi put some stuff in there and Flatbed's in here and she put some stuff in there. So I I turn around and I was gonna do this little it's a, like I said, it's like a little game people do with the money, and it's like the one I know I watched was $5. You do the $5 and every time you get paid you put $5 in this thing or whatever, or you get cash back and you take, if you get five you put them in there, and just every time you have at least one five out of whatever you got in your wallet you put it in there. So that was a goal. Never did it. Well, I started it, but never could complete it because, like I said, I didn't go to the grocery store that much. Everything was being delivered because of COVID. So then I was like, okay, I'm at a new gig. It is more money, significantly a boost. Almost like, a $5 pay boost, which isn't bad based on my expenses, okay? And needed based on now having a car, of which y'all pray for me because somebody sent me something about possibly I guess they're like a company that looks for refinance of vehicles. They sent me and I did a little research on them. So they are valid. And I'm going to reply back and see. I might refinance it to get lower payments. Anyway, so I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, Lord, I need to do something to be more proactive. This is my little goal I have for myself this year with money. Okay, I don't know when he's coming back, but basically the Bible says is that we are to occupy until he returns for us. So basically till he returns for us to rapture us or you croak. So I'm going to live as such. And so I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't know, but I need to be more proactive with some of my savings. Don't get me wrong, I'm doing savings other ways too, but this is kind of just something immediate. And then I'm also going to be breaking up, like even the car right now, like that starter thing that's going on. And I had everything tested. Everything seems to be fine. It did it another time. Like I've had it done to do it 3 times. It's just random. It's like, and I guess a friend of mine, Laura, she's working for a different insurance company now doing virtually the same thing, except she's only dealing with states, I guess, where licensure is not required. So she doesn't have to get licensed yet, but she might in the future. So I was like, okay, I need to save because when one of the things, this is just my kind of like fun way of saving, investing. But one of the things is that I also want to create an emergency account. So like if I need to get tires for the car, if I need to do a starter. I mean, it's not a new car, it's a used car. Right now, like I said, I honestly don't have any major issues. The brakes are fine, but eventually those are things that have to be maintained. Your brakes, you need to have your brake pads changed. You need to get a tune-up. You have to do oil changes. Oil changes are high as hell now. And this car has 80,000 miles. Right now, the oil I have in it is I put the regular oil because I don't know if it was synthetic oil or not. I don't know what kind of oil it had in there because they didn't have no sticker on it. So I just stuck with the regular oil. Eventually, I'm probably going to go synthetic because it's a higher miles. I'm 82,000 miles right now. And then I got the notification from Kia, which just happened to come because I think somebody on here was telling me, I don't know if it's Kathy or someone else we were talking about when I got this car because it's a Kia that they have the high theft thing. Well, Kia sent me the notification letter about some anti-theft software, which may or may not work. I have no idea. But at the same time, my insurance company just sent me to re-up, and I think it's going up instead of going down. It's still high as hell. But another guy hit me up and said, hey, I have you here that, it's probably time for you to get insurance. And I'm wondering, he's like an insurance broker. He said, well, I can probably find insurance carriers for you, but you have to have the sticker that shows you got the anti-theft software from Kia. At the same time, Lord, I get this letter from Kia. So they send this letter. Hold on, I got the letter over here. Let me see if I got that letter here. Is that them? Hold on. I think it's here. They sent this letter. It may be here. Y'all, I have so much mail. I hate mail. They sent a letter that gave me about the software. It might be in my bag. It might be in my bag. About the software update. And they also offered a free wheel lock. So I just got this in the mail today. And I done bought 2 of them. But this is the wheel lock. I don't know nothing. I ain't read it yet. I don't even know who this is. Auto-wear. So they sent you a free wheel lock and their software update. So I got another wheel lock. I got This will be the third one. I got 3 wheel locks. So I'm gonna put it in the car, and I have that one too. So I have 3 wheel locks. Two that I bought. This one that they just sent me for free, and then I got the appointment to go get the software, the theft software to the car next Saturday. I tried to get in this Saturday, but they didn't have any appointments, so I got it for next Saturday to go in and get the theft software. I'm gonna do that. And I'm going to run by probably Linda's mechanic and ask him to check the wiring to the starter, because that's another thing that can cause that intermittent thing that happens. And it's near the oil pan. And remember, I had an oil change done with Wally World. So I don't know if he could have knocked any of the cables. But the other thing is if the cables are corroded. And I think that's underneath. Mine's a 2015. What year is yours? 11 years old. So yours is a 2000 what? Tell I'm old. And which Kia do you have? Yeah, if you guys have Kias, you can contact the dealerships and check and see if you, it has to be a Kia dealership, check and see if yours is one of the ones eligible for the anti-theft software. And you can contact Kia, and while they have them in stock, yeah, you might be eligible too, Delphi. I wish I had. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if I have it over here. I think I put it in my bag. I think it's in my bag because I had it at work, because I set everything up while I was at work. So I think it's in my backpack. But you can go ahead and establish, you can contact your local, one of the dealerships that's closest to you, and I just did the one closest to me. And I'm supposed to go in for the software thing. You can also check for any recalls. And so mine didn't have any recalls on it. And then I don't know if you know about the lawsuit. I don't know if you qualify for that, the class action suit. And that's if the key is caught on fire, been stolen, or any of that. I don't know all the caveats. I got to read it. But I think people can get up to 6,000 each, depending on the situation. So you have to look at it. I bought this knowing about the theft issue. At least I didn't know mine was one of the qualifying ones, but I know that they have two major ones with the Kia that were part of the whole theft issue. 2 major cars, but it can be any within the realm of the types of cars. So any within certain year ranges, and it has to do with the key or the little push start. And I guess what it is these crazy behind kids. It was some TikTok, I hate TikTok video, where they can plug in some kind of key, like a drive, and it basically allows them to start the car without the actual key. And then there's other ways on how they bust open the one with the turn and the little software. I don't know. It's insanity. I mean, it's stupid as hell. But welcome to this new world of humans. Because I'm thinking, I don't know, man. I saw this on TikTok, so let me go rip off a car. Something wrong with them. With my video last week, what's wrong with them? Something wrong with them. Crazy as hell. So yeah. So I gotta set that up. I'm going next week, and then I've got a call around. I'm gonna go ahead and use it. Well, actually, my friend Laura gave me her broker too, so I'm actually gonna try her insurance broker first, and then I'll reach out to this other guy, because when she told me she got her insurance down to like 130, but I don't know if she's doing liability or full coverage. I have to ask her. If she's doing liability, it makes sense. Mine's full coverage, and it has a loan on this car, so. And I still have to do a Chapter 13, but I'm okay with refinancing it to knock the payments down. And because all the Chapter 13 does is allow me to reorg the car loan possibly, or reorg debt. Some of it might erase, but some of it may just reorg it. And I'm still got to do that. But right now getting those payments cut down is huge, because my interest rate is huge, and it would cut my interest rate past in half based on the rates that they were talking about. Okay, back to it. So the saving thing that came to me, I'm like, okay, I need to get on my savings game, because like Joe wanted to hang out today. I'm like, bro, I don't have it today. Right now, I mean, I had some money, but not going to hang out like I would normally do. Me and Joe, we can go out easily, have 50, 60, sometimes even about $100 hanging out. Just hanging out, because we'll go eat, then we'll may go over to the wine bar, and then from the wine bar we might say, oh, let's go get dessert. And then by the time you look at it, you done spend 30 here, 30 there, and 20 somewhere else. Well, that right there is close to 6, 70, and depends on where we're going. Now, I've been a lot more frugal with some of my choices. Like I told him, I said, well, I've been craving sushi. Well, I found an all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. It's an Asian seafood buffet. But they have sushi, they got stir fry, they got shrimp, they got, he loves lobster, they got the snow crab, they got the snow crab legs, they got all that. And various different dishes. I haven't even hit everything they got. I've been just sampling. Every time I go, the first time I went, I did their the all you can eat sushi, which was pretty good for an all you can eat buffet. Is it the best sushi in the world? No, but it was pretty decent for 20 some dollars, and I can go back as many times as I want. It was decent. They've got a salad bar. They got where you can go have your food stir fried, almost like a Mongolian. They'll put all your stuff together, and you can have them stir fried. They got all that right there, right there. They got the different Asian soups, egg drop, hot and sour soup. They got all that right there. They had what's that other one? Crawdads. They had crawfish. Yeah, they're all right there. They got fish and everything right there. And then they have regular stuff too for people who don't like seafood. They got ribs and ham and stuff like that. But the biggest part of that buffet is seafood. And like I said, when I go to a restaurant, if you see a lot of people there, you know it's good. So, matter of fact, when I went, was it Friday of last week? I think Thursday or Friday of last week. It was a bunch of Asian folk up in there. It was packed. And they had a whole tour bus of Asian folk up in there. It was packed. And between the Asian and Latino folk, it packed. And so I didn't know it was there. I just kind of stumbled upon it on a Yelp search. And I was like, okay. And I was still working I was still employed at the other company on vacation. Vacation. Working at the new company. So I was still employed at the other company on using my vacation. And then I went to go do my time card. And I'm like, oh, before I do my time card, let me stop in here and go check this place out. And that was the first time I went. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. So subsequently, I've been 2 other times since then. So I've been a total of 3 times. So Friday coming up, Joe and I are supposed to go. And that's the other thing, too. God bless them. You plan stuff, but I guess you expect me just to drop stuff on a dime. And no, we getting ready to change that up. You gonna schedule stuff with me. It's not to be mean, but I don't like that. I just it's like, hey, you want, and then I got this and that, or I got a check and blah. No, I can't. So you gonna schedule stuff with me too. But yeah, so the investment thing. Here's what I'm doing. So before it was like $5, you do cash, and people would just stuff it in a box, an envelope, whatever. And then at the end of the year, you would see how much money you have. Well, I'm going to do something called dollar investing, okay? And I'm going to do $5, and I'm going to have it go to my Cash App. So if you guys have Cash App, if not, open one. They don't charge you anything. I don't even think they do a credit check for a Cash App. And the Cash App also gives you the capability to trade, to buy or sell stock, okay? So you can buy or sell stock there, and you can buy stock for, I don't even know if you have to do it. I think you have to do $1, but you can buy stock for whatever you got in there. So $1 would be good. And what I'm going to do, and I'm going to share it, I'm going to say this and preface this when I go over it, and I will start sharing what I'm investing in. I am not, quote unquote, a licensed trade, brokerage, or financial person. I'm not. So if you so choose, which I'm going to put at the beginning of my videos, if you so choose to follow the same investment that I'm doing, feel free. But I can't tell you whether you're going to win, lose, or draw. I'm doing it as a game for myself to see how I do. And I'm going to use a method on a book that I read years ago, which is called Talking Dollars and Making Sense. And I think I mentioned her before. Her name is Brooke Stevens, the sister. And it's an old book. You can get it on Amazon. And what she does is in her book, I read it years ago, she talks about invest in what you use. Now, I have some investments I'm going to do based on, they may not be here, but my first investments, which I bought stock and sold it from them before, is going to be fuel. Kathy, bomb book back in the day. Bomb Book. I don't know if she's done anything since then, but I remember, I think how I got into her, I think I saw her on a show, I might have seen YouTube or a show on TV, and they were interviewing her, and then I found out about the book, and I ordered the book, and I was just impressed. And I ordered it again because I lost it in the storage unit that I had years ago. But she talks about investing in the things you use. Like if you use Colgate toothpaste, I don't know if it's Palmolive, who it is, whoever the company is that makes that, buy stock in it. It's something you buy. So on average, other people are using it. So it's a company that is an active company that's doing something. Now, I will let you know that I have bought, sold, and may hold still right now stock with the gas company. So when I say gas, I'm talking about gas fuel for vehicles. So, and I didn't only do ones that I know of here locally, even if they're not here. Like we don't have BP here, but British Petroleum is a fuel company. So if it's anything doing with gas that you put in a vehicle, matter of fact, that will probably be the first investments I'll be doing this pay period coming up as far as investing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Everything from the shoes you wear, car you drive, clothes you buy, if you can find out, even the company you may work for, you may want to invest. Like the other company I work for, even though they're ghetto as far as what was here, I don't know about the other companies, although I'm not shocked. Um, that company is a global company that does they basically contract to governments. They don't only contract to the ones here in the US, they contract to other governments outside the US. I had never heard of them before, but I started investigating them once I started working for them. And so their stock doesn't do half bad. I'm going to probably go ahead and invest in them, even though they, like I said, there were some things that were questionable, but their overall premise and idea, I've worked there. Hey, United, what's up? Delphi United is a driver. He owns his trucks, though. He's in, I just said it last week, Georgia. He's in Georgia. He owns trucks, so you have questions, he's on here too. Delphi is going into trucking. United. She's starting off at Swift. His son went to Prime. And I think United, you worked at Prime too, didn't you? Or you know people from Prime, something like that. We've talked on United and I talked on the phone a while back. I'm just talking about an investing game that I'm gonna be doing. So anybody wants to join me, if you watch this video, I will be doing separate videos to just talk about that. They probably won't be more than anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes long, if that. I'm also right now, guys. I told y'all I got a Apple. My goal is to start taking either a Saturday, 2 Saturdays a month, or all Saturdays a month. I'm gonna budget some money to the side because when I go to coffee house, I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna have my sandwich and either my coffee or tea, and I sit there for the day. I'll work on homework, Christian stuff, but part of that hanging out for that day is also going to be trying to learn my MacBook Air and also the editing software. Mac has some supposedly awesome editing features. My issue is the software that's mainly talked about is, I forgot what it's called. They got a software you got to pay for, and it's child, that software is like $300-400. I can't remember. I saw it. I just couldn't speak. I'm like, I like everything about Apple products. I love my iPhone. I want the 14. I want the 13, 14. I actually probably want the 14. I know the 15 is out. Y'all don't want the 15. I want the 13 or the 14, and most likely the 14. I This is old people. I know I'm becoming old, and I'm okay with this. Oh, the new iPhone 15 is all light, and I don't care about that. It bothers me when something is really light. If it's too light, my question is, did y'all make it cheaper? Because the other one has some weight to it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And normally cheaper means drama. So I don't know. That's just me. So the 14 or the 13, and I'm thinking about just buying one used from Amazon with the year warranty on it, because they got some that they'll get and they'll be used and they do whatever refurbishing they do, and it's like $700, but it's half the cost and come with a year warranty, opposed to me getting a year warranty and paying almost $1,500 for a freaking phone. I don't know, but I'm praying on that because it's not an urgent need. Because y'all can see my iPhone XS Max, which is a Pro Max, is running great. It's still good. I mean, the battery doesn't last as long as it used to, but it's still good. So, and I have a backup battery if I need. a little external backup battery. Um, but I'm gonna play with that software because what I want to do is be able to kind of show you guys other like screenshots of what I'm doing, and I may have to edit it in. We'll figure it out. We'll work it out. For now, it might be kind of ninja rigged on how we're gonna edit that video and put it in there. But I'm going to invest in. I know I'm going to be investing in gas stocks this first go round, and I already have kind of the idea of the stocks, and I'll let you know. But like I said, if y'all want to jump on that train with me, I'm just doing $5 every pay period. I get paid bi-weekly. And the first video will probably be out sometime next week because that's when I get paid. And I'm gonna go do my little $5 investing, and I'm doing it through Cash App. Now I do have a brokerage account too. Is it Morgan? I always forget. It's either Morgan or Merrill. Can't remember which one. I think it's Morgan. And I have that. I don't have much in there, but I'm gonna start putting money aside in there. For that one, I don't believe they do dollar investing. You're gonna have to buy blocks of stock, and so whole shares, and that may cost some money. So for example, let's say I bought, and I know this is cheap because ain't no way in hell that sucks that cheap. Let's say I bought Apple stock, and let's say it was $15. Well, you got to come with the whole $15, or it's $100 a share. Then you got to come with the whole $100 to buy a share. So that's something I might, but for now, that's not where my loot is at. But I want to start putting money over there, and then I may buy large shares of certain companies. And it may be within a certain, maybe it's, I decide, okay, in that account, I'm going to buy stock that's about no more than $25 a share. Then I can maybe get, 5 to 10 shares, something like that, to start in that and just invest that way. So that's some of what I'm going to do. But right now, my focus for the game that we're doing is kind of like you're playing a game with yourself on putting money aside, but investing it is to invest in stock for stuff you use. So exactly what she said. Your Kia, you go to Kia, then invest in Kia. You got a Toyota, invest in Toyota, and companies that you like their products. So for me, I am a Toyota fan. So Toyota, even though I don't own one right now, I would definitely invest in Toyota. Um, Gas companies that I like for fuel, even though they're high as hell, is Chevron. I love Chevron gas. I think it does very well in vehicles. It helps the vehicle. However, normally on a budget reason, because of budget, I normally get my gas right now from 76s here in Arizona because they're cheaper. And so significantly cheaper, but occasionally I do Chevron. If you do a fuel additive, so the fuel additive I use is a company called Seafoam, and that's what I use. But other companies that supposedly have good reputations are Lucas. I have not used Lucas. I use Seafoam. I know Lucas was used a lot in trucking, but also is used in cars. Um, and if you have industries, so like if you're in the trucking industry, and let's say your favorite bobtail truck was Freightliner or Volvo, then maybe those are industries you find out who the stock is through, and you invest that way. Um, if you work for companies you like I have some companies that I thought were very good companies, and one of them, well, I'm trying to think right now. Well, one of them is owned by a different company. Now I don't know that I want to invest in them, but the other one is still around. But they're also kind of owned by someone else. But I think they're doing okay. So I think Ameritrade, is Ameritrade merged with Schwab? Somebody merged with Schwab, and they still have the Schwab name, but it's not quite the same Schwab. But I think Schwab is still holding its own. So um, those are companies you might want to invest in. If you like Nike shoes, you need to invest in Nike. If I'm a Fila fan, I like K Swiss. I just bought them UGG shoes, which are very comfortable. I really do like the Uggs. The Doc Martens I like, but that the you got to break them in because it's a very thick leather, and so when I'm walking in it, it kind of hurts at the top when you're bending. So I got to break that in. But it's a well made, in my opinion, shoe. That shoe is hefty. I think you take it off and jack somebody up by just beating the hell out of them with it. I'm sorry, that shoe is a hefty shoe with the smiley faces. Cute shoe though. They're just madly cute. The Uggs I love the Uggs that I have are I think I showed y'all those. Those are comfy. And then I got my K Swiss. I got two the K Swiss were on sale. 40% off. 40%. I think it was 40% off each shoe. Something like that. It was almost a half price. So I got two pairs of tennis shoes because I needed some new tennis shoes, and that's what I wear into the office. Um Yeah, so just invest in the stuff if your computer's Apple, if you find for iPhone, invest in Apple. If you use a Windows machine, invest in Windows products. You invest in what you buy. That's one of the things. So that's and if you like I said, you can get the book. It's old, but the premise of her thought process is genius because it's so simple. It's not asking you to get out here and look at the ratings and see how well this company's doing. You Investing is a gamble. It's a gamble. There are some that do short selling. That's truly gambling. But investing or options trading, that's gambling with stock. But investing is a gamble. You put money in and you hope the company does well. And it's going to go up and down. That it just is going to go up and down, but you also know what you're putting in, you might lose some of it. Unfortunately, people were probably hit with everything between COVID and the economy and their 401ks and investments, but are they better off? For example, Monty Grumpy, he didn't invest anything. All he had was his pension, where his buddy Nick was 401k, pension, and other stuff. So, driving to work is a girl, Captain. Can you say it again? It's a girl. Say it again. When we walk out our door, it's a gamble if we make it back in the door. Come on now, that's facts. So everything we do has risk, and she just hit it on the head. When we walk out our door, we don't know if we're gonna come back into it. We don't know if we're gonna make it. We go to bed at night, we don't know if we're gonna wake up in the morning. It's all a gamble. So it is risk. It's in God's hand, but it's doing something with what you've been given. It's kind of like and I'm not quoting it exactly, but there's a biblical story about the people with the talents, and they had the talents, and the master says, here's your talents. Talents can be whatever. We look at it as money, but it could be a gift. It could be like a gift that you have. And I've given you this talent, but all you did is go bury it in the dirt and didn't do anything. You didn't invest it. You didn't try to do nothing with it. So therefore, I'm gonna take your gift and give it to somebody else. And we've all been guilty. I mean, I've been definitely guilty of it. And all of a sudden, it's, I don't want this. I don't want to deal with it. I did that even in ministry, and we throw it in a corner, or sweep something over it because it was like, I don't want to deal with it, or I don't want to lose it. Well, you're losing it by not using it. You've been given money, and a lot of times we give the money and we just waste it on foolishness. Guilty. I'm guilty. How many times we stop at Starbucks for a drink we suck down and that money gone? I ain't invested in Starbucks, but I'm drinking their stuff. And I don't and here's my thing. I'm not a huge Starbucks fan. This one over here, I like them just because I like their customer service. But my favorite, if I did like coffee shops, my what I call my fast food coffee shop, because that's what they are to me, is Dutch Brothers. If I want to talk coffee shop, I want to go sit down at Fair Trade, which is a more mom and pop coffee shop with an atmosphere, and I can just sit down and chill and study. And they have lunch or breakfast, whichever one you choose, desserts, and I can sit there and chill. But at the same time, when I go to Fair Trade, I'm there probably from 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning until they close at 7, and I'm sitting there the whole day. So that means I'm drinking something the whole day, I'm eating something the whole day, and I'm drinking something. So that means I'm paying for that. By the time I leave out of there, I've spent probably anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks up in there. That's money that just goes out. It doesn't come back to me in any way other than I sucked it down or ate it, and it's gonna come out through my butt or peeing it out. It doesn't. It goes nowhere. So it's a game that I'm playing. Anybody who wants to get on board with it, I'll have that. Like I said, I'll be doing little short videos on those during the week. I won't be doing them as lives. I'll just do them and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is who I invested in. Um, and I'll just and I might show, here's what I invested in, and show y'all my app. And then but every week we'll see if I can do either a snapshot or something to show you how that investment is doing. So those investments, because it'll be, and what I'm gonna do is $1 each, so it's gonna be 5 stocks. So 5 stocks um every pay period is what I'm gonna do. And then I might up it over time and that's the other thing I've thought about doing, is as I pay, because I have a credit card I'm gonna pay off and close. It's just one I don't particularly care for. It's one I'm like, I need to pay them off and just be done with them, because to me their interest rates high, and I don't know, I don't like them. So I'm gonna close them down. I'm gonna pay them off, close them down. As soon as that's paid off, then I may up my $5 to $10, and then do $10 stocks a month. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. And then I'll be putting some money also in the Merrill account, but I'm not really gonna. I keep saying Merrill, Morgan account, but I'm not gonna really probably talk about that till it reaches a certain amount, and then I may talk about what I'm investing over there. But right now, it's just me the Cash App because I think that's easier for a lot of people. Most people are like me. A lot of them are paycheck to paycheck on here. Some of you coming into trucking, and trucking is not. It doesn't pay all the time what we want it to pay. And I mean, it's funny because I was talking to Wendy, and we were talking, and she said it's funny because a lot of people have this illusion that some truckers, especially those who work for companies, are making a very lot of money, quite a bit of money. But the average trucker, honestly, some of them were pissed. I wasn't making a lot of money, and unless you got to hustle or you're willing to train, and you get good trainees, some are doing 45, maybe 60 grand a year if they're in like and if they're like a company driver. Some, a few far in between. Until you get the driving under, and if you get like Trucker Bill, where he was working for Saya, I think Bill was close to around 60 to 80 a year, but those jobs are far few and in between. Okay. And getting in the door is going to be very unique. And then again, with trucking, or anything in transportation, but trucking is very cutthroat. Bill bumped the truck with his regular vehicle and he was let go from Saya. So then Bill had to go and he took a job with Ashley Furniture, and he has the fingerprint. That means he is unloading the truck. Bill's in his 60s. Now he's making decent money. And his wife, she's deceased now, but she had lost her job during the whole COVID madness. And so he was the major breadwinner. He was bringing in good money, but it was a lot. I don't know. I can tell you the trucker that I knew did, I think she did something with steel when she first started out flatbed. And she has, I don't think she's been doing any videos lately because she's up there too in age now, which is one of the people I watched before I came in. It was Trucker 47, Brenda. And she actually, if you can find some of her stuff, she kind of talks about it. But I interacted with Brenda in the background just through chat. I've never physically talked to her on the phone, but we had chatted on social media through chat. And Brenda is was she in Indianapolis, somewhere like that. But Brenda started out. She was a waitress, I think, at Sizzler, and the truckers used to come in there and eat. And how she ended up getting into trucking was listening to them. And again, she went in when it was very, very few women in the industry. And so it's her channel's good. You'll see some older stuff if she still has it up. You can look for Trucker 47. I know her name is Brenda. And she actually goes into it, but she started out with hauling, I believe, flatbed steel, if I remember correctly. And you can, like I said, you have to go back. It's been a while because that's when I was first researching coming into trucking as a woman. Tanya, what's up, baby? How's that weather in Maryland? Y'all got some snow, didn't you? Um, we chin wagging right now. You might have to go back, but I'm gonna be doing an investment little game, and I told people they can. Yeah, you can watch her, and she's one of the older, like when she first came into trucking. So there's some good information on there. Watching Brenda and telling you about the industry. She stopped making videos a while back. Like I said, Brenda's gotten older, and after a while, YouTube, you have to kind of. I've been on YouTube in different veins, and one was in the gay vein, and then one was once I started doing trucking. And so I had another channel that shut down, and then I came back and doing this with trucking. Um, and now this is just me living. So as you, I think, get older, um, YouTube is not what it is for like these young folks. Like the stuff that the young folks watch on here is stupid. I can't, I'm just like, it's mindless. And I used to enjoy you. Now I have to look for certain content because there's stuff I'm like, this is mindless. Hey PJ, what's up, baby? Happy New Year to everybody on here. Let me know where y'all at and how your weather's doing. Um, but yeah, it's YouTube actually is changed. So like right now, I'm trying to do stuff that I just recently found out I get hits, which is fine with me because I don't have no problem because like I said, I'm kind of a loner. Driving down the road, those videos are getting hits like crazy. And actually, welcome to all the new people to the channel because I'm getting new membership and I'm like, I ain't done much to be me. But I have done videos like at the laundromat. When I do laundromat, I get more hits on the laundromat. Driving down the road, y'all like driving down the road. Although, you know what? I like driving down the road too. Because there used to be a truck driver, I can't remember her name. And I used to love watching her. It was a white chick. Man, if I remember her name, I'll put it up. It's a white chick. And she used to drive and show you, yeah, Missouri. Yeah, y'all can, that whole Eastern, y'all can have that. We chilly here. Like, I think I got up this morning, it was 40 something here in Arizona. We can get in the 30s. We can get into the 30s. We get to the mid 30s usually. Anything lower than the mid 30s is cold for this area. But we can get into the mid 30s. But it was like 41 when I woke up this morning. And I only use my heat. Like I have my heat right now set at 75. When I go to bed, I put it at 70 because I don't like sleeping. Let me rephrase this. I don't like the house being warm. I'd rather the house be cold because I like to. I'm a blanket person. So anytime, even winter, summer, I have blankets. I like that feel of being covered up. That's just me, winter or summer. Um, I'm trying to think. YouTube, it just changed. So like even and we change as you get older. It's just like right now. There are things that I could tolerate when I was younger that I have zero tolerance for now. It's like I said here, I was like dreading going to the grocery store before I go to the grocery store. But again, it was also a different climate. I think it's a very different climate. Just even grocery shopping is different. And like I like going to Costco, but honestly, it's so many people in Costco. I'm like, I'm good. I'm just gonna deliver to the house. Because normally, the other thing about what I do like about Instacart, it alleviates you buying stuff you don't need. Like when me and Linda went to Costco, what was I looking for? I think we were looking for something specific, and we went into Costco. So we went, and when I went, because her daughter had a membership but didn't keep it, so Linda, I was like, just come on with me. You can choose mine. And we went, and I think there was something specific I went in there looking for. And when we went, that store was freaking packed. I was like, oh, okay, that's why I have stuff delivered. And like, I don't have to haul stuff. Like bottles of water, they haul it right here in front of this door, and I just haul it into the house. And I already got a hernia, so I don't need. And I think I got the hernia from hauling bottles of water into this apartment. So I don't have to haul it long distances, and I have a little rolling cart if I can. I put it up on there and roll it over to the stack. So I got to do that. Matter of fact, I got to set my new membership up, which I may do this pay period coming up. And then I need to do a Costco Instacart order. I'll be doing that. And then I think I haven't done it yet. I was doing the monthly, but I think I may renew the monthly, and then I'm going to change it to the yearly and go to pay. Because my goal, now that I'm back work from home, I'm probably going to start going back to my grocery delivery. And to be honest, they went to the Latino store for me. And I used a different one, but they would do the Latino store for me. And the only other thing I'm going to start probably using, I guess Walmart, you can do $35 and you can just drive up and they deliver it to the car. I'm going to do that. And then Target too. There's things at Target occasionally, but Target is high as hell. But I am going to get back to my Walmart. Because like right now, I had about 6 months of toilet paper supply. I'm now down, well, I call it a month. Those big packages, it's really more than a month. But big, the big bulk packages, I got one left. And I had 6 of those bad boys in there. And I'm down to one left. Now, don't get me wrong. I also have a whole case of toilet paper in my closet that Joe gave me because he had a friend that worked for a particular government agency. I don't know exactly what they did. And they had gotten toilet paper through that agency. And Joe said, so-and-so got extra toilet paper because they did, I don't know if they did the janitorial, I don't know what all they did, but anyway, they got cases. So he said, you want a case? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's in my closet. after COVID. Well, I was already somebody who said I just come from depression. My grandparents had stuff in the house. Like I said, when COVID happened, I was like, who don't have toilet paper? I had bleach. Who don't have cleaning supplies? Who don't have toilet paper? Who don't have soap? I didn't understand. I didn't understand. I didn't understand. And then also I think we've gotten so used to modern conveniences because Joe's like, I can't get Clorox wipes. Unless it's a sale, I don't normally buy Clorox wipes. Let me tell you what I do. Let me tell you what I do. I have a spray bottle. I have it with water, bleach, and some Dawn. And I fill that up when I get out the shower. That's how I keep my shower clean. I only have to clean my shower once a month. Hell, you could go 2 times. Because when you get out, you spray the walls. You spray the walls. You spray the tub. And therefore, you don't get mold, mildew, because it's got bleach. And you just get out and spray. And then you make sure your plastic curtain is mildew resistant. I go in there and I do the tub and I just pull up the mat. Sometimes every other month I take the little mat to the laundromat, wash it, and I take the tub and once a month I go in there with some Ajax and put some water in there and I got my little scrub brush, got a few gnats. Scrub brush, I've been getting most of them out now. They almost done. Whatever it is, they almost dead. I got little gnat traps all around the house. And scrub the tub, rinse it out, put the mat back down, and the tub is clean. And the rest of the bathroom is just wiped down. And I do get the I like the foam. I like the foam, and I like the kaboom. I like the kaboom because it turns purple, and once it's white, it's a good time to wipe it down. But I also grew up with the scrubbing bubbles, so I can do that, or I can just do my bleach water. So I didn't understand, and I don't understand how you can't just wet a rag and wipe down with a disinfectant. I also keep Lysol. I have bulk Lysol, but I also had several Lysol bottles. I just didn't understand. I don't understand. Like I said, I grew up with grandparents. When you went to my Monty's mom, my grandma, you go in there, she had a room. Well, they had built on a second little bathroom in a closet, and it was like her sewing room. And in that closet, from the floor to the top of that closet, was toilet paper and paper towel. Point blank, period. So I'm not understanding. And every time I went to the grocery store, you buy toilet paper, you buy paper towel. I'm understanding. Now, what I am going to invest in, I haven't done it yet, and an associate of mine had told me about it, and I saw it, is washable, well, you call them washable paper towels, but they're cloths that are wrapped around a roller, and you can just use them just like paper towel. I'm going to invest in that. You can get them from Amazon. You can make your own if you know how to sew. That's not my gifting. So I'm going to invest in that and get that from Amazon. And I think I saw some at Wally World too. I don't know how much it was at Wally World. I just kind of saw it there, and I knew it wasn't something that was in the budget I was going to get. But I am going to either order it probably from Wally World or from Amazon, and that's going to be in the kitchen. Because I do it, and you could do it for anything. You put just like you do with a paper towel. Sometimes I'll make a sandwich on a paper towel, and you can do that because then you just know you know wipe it down, rinse it off, and then it's gonna get washed, and you can just wrap it back around. So that's some of what it is. Not like washable toilet paper, although you could possibly do that too, if it's just you. But it's like one lady, they ran out of toilet paper when she during COVID. Sister girl had all these socks. I'm like, folks wouldn't understand what her video was about. I knew what her video was. She told kids, let's go get all socks that don't match. And that was their butt wipes for until they could do. And they had washable butt wipes, pee and poop. It is what it is. It's like Nick said, when he went and the lady said, hey, we got toilet paper in. Did you need toilet paper? He said, man, I ain't worried about toilet paper. I got some in my house. He said, but if I ran out, he said, I get toilet paper delivered to my house every day in my front yard. What is he talking about? He talking about the newspaper. He said, Shannon, we grew up with the corn cobs, and one was red and one was this. And basically, that told you what you did with the corn cobs. I'm just going to leave it there. Y'all figure that out. Nick had me weak, and he said, newspaper. And again, this guy's Miller. He's a Vietnam vet. So you learn to work with what you got to work with. And like, even windows, honestly, I take, like, when they send me newspaper, like the ads, I take that to the car. Why? Because when you clean your windows, one of the best cleaning the things to clean a window, a mirror or a window with, water or whatever your liquid is, and then wipe it down with a newspaper. I can't explain to you what the print and the ink and that paper does, but that window comes out, it just glistens. Same thing with no streaks either. No streaks. Same thing with mirrors. It does the same thing. I can't explain it. Take a newspaper, and if it's like the old, what people used to swear that the ones with the comic strips was really good too. Kathy, that's probably, thank you. That, because I noticed that sometimes with certain paper towel, that if I use it to like clean the windows in the car, I'm seeing that there's still streaks. But I was like, I'm gonna go back to the old fashioned way. Newspaper, bomb. Now I don't get newspaper delivered anymore. Um, but I get the ads for the groceries, and I'm just keeping that, and I put it in the car in a stack, and that's what I clean my windows with. Now, also, a lot of the new car washes, they'll have those rags, like the little microfiber rags that you wiping the car down and windows down. So I do use those too. But if I go back, like I need a little man Hulk needs a bath. But we're supposed to have rain tomorrow. I don't know if we're gonna have rain tomorrow. I'm not going nowhere tomorrow unless I go to Olive Garden, and I haven't really decided if I'm doing that. I just pulled this out. See, this is when I say I've been stocking. These are Peruvian beans, and I got black eyed peas back there. I haven't even cooked those yet. I still got my big. I still got bulk rice, bulk beans. I probably got about 50 pounds of beans, and I got probably over 100 pounds of rice. One of them is now my right. One of the rices is still in the original bag, so hopefully we don't get no bugs in it. But the other one is in an airtight container, a food grade airtight container. Um, I may translate the one that's in the bag over, but as long as it's stored normally in a cool, dry place, it should be fine. But normally, if you put it, you want to put that. Some people go freeze the rice and they go through all this thing to kill any eggs that might be in the rice and all that. I'm not worried about that right now. Um, I'll need to cross that bridge later. But I actually, and that's what Linda was saying. She said, "Are you using what you stocked up on?" Like I said, I had dreams of food issues, some of which has really manifested. Oh well, how can I put this? The chicken thing manifested because we had the bird flu. Okay, so that manifested. That actually happened. Um, the other food issues I'm gonna say may be due to cost, because right now, like for me, I hit some financial roadblocks, and on top of that, when you go to grocery shop, one of the guys in our little training who was doing a little training for us, he's been at the company over 5 years. And he was training us. He said, "Yeah, when you had to go pay $800 for bread for bread and eggs," I was like 100% facts. Because I mean, I went to the grocery store today. I literally thought that I did not. I didn't think I hit $30. It was $33 when I was done. When they had to give me a refund because there was something that was advertised, and it. I didn't see where it says you got to buy 5 or more to get at this price. So they charged me the higher price, and I was like, "Oh yeah, y'all can refund that." Some chips. And it was just corn chips. I was gonna do my ceviche, but I can use the tostada shell for ceviche. That'll work too. So I'm gonna do ceviche. Probably that tomorrow. Um, and I may show y'all the cowboy candy. I may do a video on how to do the cowboy candy because I bought jalapenos for that today. So I went in there and I bought jalapenos were 99 cents a pound, which is a good deal. Um, the Roma tomatoes were dollar something, $1.29, I think, a pound. And what got me is I had gone to the Latino grocery store where they're normally on sale. Them freaking Roma tomatoes were $2.69 a pound at the Mexican grocery store. Yeah, I'm good. They're gonna sit here and rot. So, like I said, I only got a few things. They did have lemons, 99 cents a pound, which is good. Um, I'm a huge lemon person. I have to watch it because I'm one of the ones that will squeeze a lemon, put salt in it, and eat the lemon, which is not good for your teeth. But I love lemon and salt. I can't explain it. So I bought some lemons, which I'll probably use with my ceviche. And today, the other thing I had a craving for, the jalapeno poppers. So I had bacon already. I had some jalapenos. I don't know what's good and bad in the refrigerator because I need to get in there and look at my veggies. But I decided to go and get some fresh ones and the big ones, and I wanted to do the cream cheese bacon wrapped jalapenos, which I did. I did it air fryer. Anybody can do those. Those aren't hard. And you just sit here and cut them in half, and then you take out the the white pithy part and most of the seeds if you can get them, and then you just fill it with cream cheese and wrap it in bacon, which is what I did. And I didn't do. Sometimes you wrap the whole thing. I didn't do all that. I just did. I cut the bacon and wrapped them individually, and you still get the bacon flavor. So I did that, air fried them, and then I did some. I wanted those little smoky wieners, and I got some of those and throw some barbecue sauce on them, and just have those. I just kind of snacky today. Wasn't anything huge today, but I pulled out my beans because they were sitting back there. These are some Peruvians I had gotten. I think this is the last of them, and they were sitting back there on the shelf. And I'm like, I might do some beans. I'll probably put them in the Instapot and do some beans. I got some bacon. I'm gonna fry that up and put them Peruvian beans in there. And Peruvian beans, if y'all never had them, they're very creamy. I forgot who told me about them. Very creamy. And it was funny because Joe was like, because most Mexicans here in Arizona, pinto beans is the main staple for them. He's like, Shannon. I'm like, yeah. Have you had them Peruvian beans? Yes, I have. He said they're so good. They're creamy. So when you cook them, they have a nice cream to them. If you like beans, some people, I don't like beans. Beans are good for you. Granted, you're going to be farting, but farting is not a bad thing. Gas is good. Okay, let me read this. Where do I get? Oh, okay, Kathy. Where do I get the Peruvian beans? You can. I get them here in Arizona at the Latino grocery store. So we have. I don't know. Everybody got usually an international market, but I don't know. You're in Texas though, right, Kathy? Yeah, I know you got Mexican stores. You can't even not say you do because I know you do. Um, you could try United. I don't know if they'll have. This is in the bulk section, the Peruvian beans. But I go to we have a couple of different Mexican grocery stores out here. We got Food City, we've got Rancho Market, and we've got El Super. Those are like our Mexican grocery stores here in Arizona. So they're usually in bulk there, and they're usually on sale, and they're usually right next to the pinto beans. But you could also check your local markets. I don't know if United would carry them. I have to see because United and Safeway are now the same company. United, Safeway, Albertsons, so they might carry them. I don't know if a Kroger might have them, but normally these I see at the Mexican grocery stores in the bulk section. You could check Sprouts. I don't know if Sprouts will have them because it is a specialty type bean. In the sense that it's not a standard type bean that we would see, like a pinto bean, a lima bean, and certain beans they carry in bulk, which is usually your pintos. But here at the Mexican grocery stores, they do carry the Peruvian beans, which is they carry that in bulk, and it's very creamy. And you could, I mean, you cook it like beans, but you could do. I know I have not smoked turkey yet, so I usually smoke my own turkey. Like when I would make greens, I made my greens with smoked turkey, but I would smoke my turkey. I have not done a smoked turkey in a while, and the other problem is I can't have greens quite often because the blood thinner I'm on. Even though I love greens, I love spinach. Um, I love green tea. I have not had green tea in years. I would say one of when I first started on blood thinners, I had to go to a Coumadin clinic, which I'm at another one now. And when I first started, my hematologist sent me. Yes, I'm on warfarin. Yes, ma'am. Been on warfarin since age 29, and I'm 55. Um, the warfarin, as you know, it interacts with something called vitamin K. Vitamin K is very prevalent in a lot. Yeah, most people say that, and you see my skin. I'm gonna ask you right now. So most people say that if you've been on it that long, people's skin. I don't know if it's more with the pink folks, but their skin becomes very paper thin because warfarin, a lot of people don't know, is like rat poison. I think is what it's derived from, and so your skin becomes very thin. But it's also I haven't had that issue to my knowledge, but it I remember when I first got on it, they gave me a booklet, and I don't even know if I still got it, but they used to give you a booklet with the warfarin that told you what you could and couldn't do. I mean, it described everything because warfarin is a very serious drug. It's a plus drug because it can prevent stroke, it can prevent heart attack because it keeps your blood thin enough to where you don't clot peripherally. But the first time, hard head, I'm like, okay, I wanted some greens. I did greens one time. I did oh, I did a green tea, and I love me some iced green tea. And so I had to go and do my blood checks on a consistent basis. Man, I got to the Coumadin clinic and my blood, so the blood thinness, so where I should be is usually between at least 2.0, but they really want you between 2.5 and 3.0. So I was like 1 point something. And she's like, "What in the hell did you eat? Or did you miss a dose? Or did you miss doses?" Because I was going like every few weeks because they, keeping me leveled out. And I was like, "What do you mean?" She said, "I need to know what you've eaten." And then she said, and then so she started asking. Well, I said, "No, I missed no doses." Because I was consistent and everything was fine up until this. And so they automatically know you've done something in your diet. Something has changed. And so she goes, "Did you eat any of this?" "No, I didn't eat that." And then she said, "Have you drank any green tea?" I said, "Oh yeah, I love green tea." And she pulled that book out and she said, "What's the rating on the vitamin K for green tea?" And green tea is like one of the top ones for vitamin K. It has a lot of vitamin K in it, and it tanks the warfarin's effects. So I found out. So after that, I left green tea alone. And then like the holidays, I told the Coumadin clinic I'm working with now. I said, "So my Coumadin, my warfarin's gonna be off." And she said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm having some greens. I'm making some greens." I had a craving for greens, so I did like greens with mixed cabbage to kind of lessen it. But I'm gonna tell you the effect of that. It showed up in my last blood check, I think, because of those greens. And then also, if you're taking supplements, certain supplements, you gotta kind of watch out because they also interact with coumadin. They can interact in one or two ways. They may either make you too thin or make it too or block some of the effects. So I have to let them know if I'm taking supplements. And don't get me wrong, they can adjust the warfarin, but I've been on 5 milligrams pretty much most of the time, with the exception of adjustments. Normally for dental work, I have to come off. Although the dentist I have now, I guess he's gonna pull my wisdom teeth and said I don't have to come off of it. I was like, look, because that used to be you had to stop the warfarin because you can bleed out. But he's like, nope. So before they go to pull my bottom wisdom teeth, I'll go and get an INR check, let him know where I'm at, and then he'll work with the company. He says he can do. I forgot what it is. The guy's good. Like I said, they did some dental work. When I had to ask Joe, I was like, "Joe, are they cosmetic dentists? Because you can't even tell that them." I didn't. They got rid of my silver that was back there because it had old fillings, and they even did the little divots in the teeth. I'm like, I'm in the mirror looking like, the hell? It looks like you can't even tell it's an old tooth. Like, you can't tell it was a cavity in there. I was like, okay. You can't tell I had silver. And I'm like, okay, they made it look like a whole normal tooth. Drilled out everything and did this new filling and did the little divots like a normal tooth. I'm like, okay, so bite down, make sure the bite feels like. It's so weird. But anyway, he's taking that out, and then I'm gonna have his sister finish my braces. Um, but yeah, so I got a really, really good Joe hooked me with a really good dentist here in Arizona. But yeah, so I've been on it. I've been on warfarin for like, yeah, since 29, and I'm 50, 55. So that's 30. Is that like 30 years? 25 years almost? 25 years, something like that. It's a long time. It's a long time. Um and I've had a blood clot. Either one because I missed some doses. I've had a couple of pulmonary embolisms, several DVTs, and not sure whether a blood clot hit the heart recently, and that was maybe what was going on. They said thickening of the heart. I have no idea. So yeah, but God has blessed me. I'm still here and I'm still kicking, and it's a hereditary. The blood clotting disorder is hereditary on Grumpy's side. Every other person gets it. Now my cousin mentioned lupus, which I'm shown false positive for lupus when I first was diagnosed. Which I'm almost wondering if that is because it was funny. An associate of mine named Jossie, lupus runs in her family. And when she went to her doctor, kind of like when I talked to my hematologist, it kills me. I mean, granted, I know they're schooled for years and years and years, but some things kill me. When I asked the doctor when the whole blood clot thing, I said, could this be hereditary? Because my father's family, several people have had clots. Oh, no, 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 no. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't believe in coincidence. Okay. Sure enough, then later on, he had to come back to that because at first he was thinking, oh, the tumor that you had, because I had that large mass, it was sitting on the major vein causing the blood clot. Not so. Because after they took the tumor out, I threw another clot to the lung. I threw a pulmonary embolism. So back in the hospital again for several weeks. But anyway, when I finally go back for that one, he's like, well, you're going to be lifelong Coumadin because it does look like this is not about the tumor. Dude, I just told you. On my father's side of the family, several people have clotting disorders, like every other freaking person. And I drew the straw. Same thing with my buddy Jossie back in the day when she ended up, and she's got the worst form. I don't know if she's still alive because we've lost contact. She had the worst form of lupus. And she said to the guy, look, there are several people on somebody, I forgot, from mom's side of the family, whoever, dad's side of the family, who have had lupus. Could it be that this is lupus? Oh, no, 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 no. Sure enough, it was lupus. This girl's like kidneys and stuff went into failure. It was lupus. Okay. So she's got the worst form. It's attacking every vital organ in her body. They had given her only 6 months to live. She outlived that the last time we had talked. We've lost contact. But it kills me when they sometimes, and God bless them, I know they got their degrees and all that stuff, but sometimes it's like, hey, y'all, would you listen? Just listen. So, and hereditary stuff can just be freaking hereditary stuff. I mean, we inherit things from people that is even behavioral. That was, and I was just watching this lady I was watching on here talking about narcissists and temperament, and that like I guess temperament is something that's inherent. It's an inherited thing that can be inherited. It's not even something you have to grow up with. It can be inherited through the line. I'm not shocked at all. But it was funny how they're saying that is an inherited behavior. And I was like, intriguing, but not shocked. But there's people like, oh, blah, ciao, bye. That's why I know when I look at Monty's offspring, I can see the different things. And this was not somebody who was very prevalent in all of our lives. And when I met extended family, I could see it. I could see it between all of us as children and siblings, and especially on his dad's side. I was like, oh my God. That's when you start praying for yourself. Lord Jesus, break every generational curse over my life. That's when you start praying for yourself. But yeah, but as far as the beans, make them however. I mean, some people do ham hocks. I'm gonna use bacon. Usually use some kind of meat with it. Hold on. Therapists are worse than doctors. They think they know everything. You know, Monty had Grumpy. That's my dad, if you didn't know who that was, Delphi, because I know you're a little bit newer to the channel. So my biological father, his name was Monty. But and you might see a video, I think, where I did a video interviewing him about the railroad, because he worked for the railroad. But Grumpy, it's funny because he worked in he lied and said respiratory therapist. I think he's like more like a respiratory tech. He hadn't finished schooling, but he got a job in the respiratory field, working at a hospital. So he had worked in the hospital long enough, and he used to say that about doctors, like they thought they were God. Usually, most people who do counseling, which is another grumpy statement, they usually just as crazy too, and that's a lot of people why people go into counseling. Which I don't think is, and I don't say in a mean way. I think it's good because if you see something in yourself and you say, "Hey, I want to be I want to be able to understand it." It's like right now, some people's like, why are you watching about narcissists? Because my biological father was a narcissist and we inherit things. So I also want to watch and make sure things aren't translated to me or be aware of them or how did that impact or even just to understand. And I believe that a lot of us getting some freedom is to be able to face whatever issues we have, inherit, admit it, and then deal with it in ourselves. Some things we may not have been able to control in our growing up environment because we were children and we were powerless and we were at the mercy of maybe jacked up people. But it does not mean that as I become in an adulthood that I have to live in that brokenness. I can come from broken, I can be broken, but can I learn to manage through whatever my brokenness is and heal where God, and let God heal me where he can, and help, and have him help me walk through those areas that still may be areas that need to be worked on. That's the best way I can put that. So I always look back in my mind at Apostle Paul when he says, "Hey, I got this thorn in the flesh," which was this. He said it was demonic. So an angel of Satan sent to buffet me, caused him some issues. What it was, we don't know. Some people want to speculate. I don't speculate because the Bible never tells us. It just tells us that this was an issue for him. And God says, "My grace and my mercy are sufficient," meaning that you're going to have this on board, but I'm going to help you. I'm going to be able to be there with you as you walk through this process. Some things are instant, where you might get delivered from, and other stuff are healed from, and other stuff we're going to walk this journey with it for whatever God's purpose is. Maybe it's to keep us more humble, which was what was the thing with Paul. Maybe it's to keep us more level-headed, and that's okay. I'm like, when I interact with family members, and I be sitting there like this, because it's like they don't see it, or they just choose not to deal with it. And to me, that's a detriment, because you can't, how are you really walking in some freedom if you don't face it? Like, I look at my biological father, Monty, and I look at my biological mother, both extremely jacked up people. Both had horrible impacts on their children, all of us. And even though there's two other brothers with my mother, I don't think they realize the damages that came down. They may compensate for them in a different way, but you can best believe your damage. I see it with my mother and her siblings, because I can see it between her and her sister, oil and vinegar. And even though now they're older, I think she's trying to get along. She can't stand her sister. Jealous, angry, bitter, because of what her mother did, in the differences that she made between her children, and her favorite child being my aunt. And so, but if you don't face it, you live in your brokenness, because you have to come to it, and you also have to get to a point of forgiveness. It doesn't mean, until you can understand somebody else, it's hard to forgive them. So until I could understand aspects of Monty, it's hard to be forgiving if I just think, "Oh, you just a butthole." Yeah, he's a butthole, and he was a butthole. Point blank, period, facts. But I understand more of why he was a butthole based on things that I learned from him and from his family that I met. And to me, you got to come to that mirror. And most people don't want to come to that mirror. It's like they want to live. I love my buddy Joe, but he wants to live in delusion about his family. One minute he'll tell me that his brother or certain family member is a butthole, and the next minute he'll, "Oh, my poor brother, he's a dick." I'm sorry, he's just a jerk. The dude is a jerk. Your sister's crazy, bruh. Your nephew's a butthole, bruh. And then he'll invite it back in, and then there's madness. And that's why I say I'm like, and that'll be a cocktail, actually, y'all. True cocktail. And you be sitting there like this. Are you delusional? People live in it. They do not want to face facts and truth. And I sat there going, woo. And even though they'll do things, like I know some other things that were done where he's financially better off, and then he'll tell a whole nother story. And I'm like, he sat and he met some family members of mine, and he stated something that wasn't true. But I didn't say anything. I just got quiet. And I understood, and like I said, some people will do things in order to make themselves look better. Okay. And it won't be true. So to me, just stay away from it. Don't even talk about it. Just, it's something I won't talk about. If it's something you're embarrassed by. This was not well, it might have been. He said he left a company that we were at by choice, which is not really true. I had a dream about what happened to him, and I gave him pre-warning. I don't know if it was even a week later that things transpired, and he didn't really have a choice. They were going to ultimately get rid of him or you leave. It had nothing to do with the business. He had a side business he was doing, had nothing to do with that. But at the table, when he met these other people, he tried to make it seem like, oh, yeah, I was doing this, and this. He hadn't made that step yet because it wasn't going to work. And if that was the case, then why did you end up working in something else? You wouldn't have needed to if you were financially making the same money you were making at this corporation. Kathy, that facts, honey. That's just straight facts. And what's hard, I think people are so afraid to be alone. And that's why I tell y'all I need to get that cricket machine because I got some sayings I'm gonna put on shirts. And one of them is F you, I got enough friends, which means it could just be me and Jesus. God, and you can do F not in the bad way or the bad way. Flip you, frick you, forget you. I got enough friends. Some people want to use the bad word. Back in the day, that's how I meant it. But me and Jesus now, like, forget you. I got enough friends. And the reality is, I don't need to bring toxicity in my life, and I will be alone with Jesus before I do. And it's a hard pill for some people because family, even jacked up family, and like me and Monty, I can't explain it because he was my biological father, but we got along. Even if we didn't agree on something, even if he pissed me off or vice versa, I think our relationship was more like a friendship, but we could get along. For the most part, I would say what I have to say, and he would just look at me. What you do with that is on you. I really didn't care. When the other sibling's mother died, and the sister had called me, I was on the truck. I couldn't deal with that kind of emotion because when you're trucking, you gotta stay focused. I can't be sad with you. I can't be depressed. So I picked up the phone. I said, "Your other children's mother is in the hospital, and I don't think it's good. You need to go down there and support those kids." And this is what I had to tell him. Don't be a dick. Just like that. That's what I said. Don't be a dick. That's their mama. And you need to go down there and be decent. So when I talked to the sister, and she's telling me all these things that she thinks that I was like, how did he find out about your mama? She got quiet. I said, I called and told him. This isn't something he would have done on his own. I said, she said, well, he was really nice. Yes, because I told him not to be a dick. Your mom is in a hospital, and what you described to me was a deathly situation, which later her mom did die of. 3 children you had with that woman. You laid on that woman for 3 kids. Now, I don't know, they got some issues, but right now, they don't need you being a dick. They need you to try to be a decent human being. Same as when I got sick here in Arizona, I asked you to drive me to the. I didn't need you bringing it. I just walked out of the worst hospital stay ever that ultimately later resulted in 6 months in and out of the hospital. And you wouldn't even drive me in my car 10 minutes from my house. I didn't need that right then. I didn't need that. So don't be a dick, because I know you can be a dick. And I just point blank, because I didn't care. And I didn't care. It wasn't a father-daughter relationship on that level. We actually were kind of friends. Don't be a dick. And he was decent. Because we had, me and him, while we were, there's a lot. And he was broken. So once I understood some of his issues, and I didn't understand them fully until he died and I met the extended people from his daddy's side, then all the light bulbs came on. I'm like, oh, okay, you crazy as a box of rocks. And you come from crazy. Good to know, because that means what's in my bucket, crazy. And I got a side that can be somewhere. She be over here. She can be different. I got a whole another person. A whole nother person. Joe met her once. he was like, where did that come from? Because he had never seen that side of me. Yes, I almost turned out a restaurant. We're just going to leave it there. Almost turned out a restaurant, y'all. Almost turned out a restaurant. One of my Asian pho places. Because some crazy folks in the parking lot. I'll tell that story another time. But I will tell you, it scared the hell out of Joe. Because he never met her. He never met that Shannon. He didn't meet Cassie Shannon until that day. And then Joe knew. He knew. I was like, it takes everything I have to control her. Because That's some of the stuff that comes from Monty's side of the family. Don't get me wrong, my mother's name is Frances. Her side of the family got crazy too. But Monty has the violence, he has the temper, he has the crazy. And there is a whole nother individual that once I met her, I was like, ooh, wee. And I say separate because the Bible tells us that the old man becomes dead. Because I know that chick right there, the first time I saw it, I was like, ooh, it scared me. And it's when you back up and say, is that me? That's when you had a question mark. It scared me. So, um, letting people in who are toxic, who are crazy, I can't do. And it takes a lot. So sometimes I have to pump the brakes, and I just realize, oh, okay. And I can interact with you for a minute, but then I know whether I'm going to jack with you or not. Like I met a person married into the family line, and she kind of snapped off up on our very first meeting. Now I'm 55, and the baby's in her 30s, 40s, whatever. And I'm not a fool. I'm not five. I'm 55. So I already know you smart. You might be, and she's a very attractive girl. I was going to bust. I was like, oh, okay, y'all, you did all right. This female is attractive, but got a smart little mouth. I'm like, you have no clue who the hell you talking to. I can just go be straight off. You'll meet a whole nother person. You meet a whole nother person, and you won't like me. You think you know. You got no flipping idea. So I get it. But we have to, I believe that we need to understand in order to have mercy on people. And it kind of goes back to a biblical statement of, basically you got to love people like you love yourself. And understanding that if you come from brokenness, you know, sometimes you need to understand, and not saying you have to tolerate crazy. There's a different story. I think you have to understand it in order to be forgiving. But it does not mean you have to, I always like to say, sit yourself in the seat of abuse of those people, which is why I don't deal with my biological mother. Because you can't come correct. At least, like I said, with Grumpy, Grumpy came back apologizing. Now, I don't know if he knew how to navigate those waters as I got to know more of his story. And I think he was so jacked up, he didn't know how to navigate the waters. All right, Kathy, peace out. So, yeah, but you have to face self. And I think, I didn't expect this to go this way, but I'm going to finish it out. I think a lot of people don't know how to face self. So they live in their delusion. Just like my buddy. He lives in the family he's in. That is like, is toxic as hell. Out of his siblings, and they're a big family, the Latino family. Out of his siblings, there are three of them I would jack with. That's it. And one of them, she dead now. That would have been the fourth one. But he's got three of them I would jack with. Other ones, crazy as a box of rocks. Cray. Lots of issues. Lots. And that comes in, and I don't know how you do the family gathering. I don't have the tolerance for. I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy. I don't have the tolerance. I can't. I can't. Mm-mm. So it's some stuff I won't be around. I don't care who you are. Right. Like I said, you can be making bars of gold. I won't be there. I It's not that serious to me. I got an associate right now. I would say we were friends. I'm gonna say she's an associate, a sort of friend. But as I've gotten older, some of her personality and behavior that I tolerated in my late 20s, early 30s, I want nothing to do with. Like she tried to call me the other day and went right to voicemail. I don't hate her, and I'll take a text message. I'll um I'll take a text message, stuff like that, but I don't get involved anymore. Um it's too much weirdness to me and too toxic, odd, and I pray for her because I do also understand why she is who she is. She doesn't understand it. And again, that takes some self-examination, and a lot of people aren't that for whatever reason, I don't know that I don't know if God just gives some people the ability to look in the mirror and deal with your stuff, and others He does not. I not say He doesn't. Others they cannot deal with it. They can't handle it, and they like to live in a strange delusion. It's like right now. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna end this because we're already 99 minutes in. We're in a world where people are seeing a lot of things transpire, and I got people who aren't even Christian. They're like, the world's coming to an end. Okay, we're coming to an end. They know it. They know it, but yet refuse to seek things that would give them a hope. Instead, they just are on a treadmill of, okay, whatever, it just ends. Oh well. They and they know, and some people even know it's biblical. That's what gets me, is the ones who are not Christian, don't claim Christianity, and they know, well, hey, the things the Bible said are happening. So why don't you investigate a relationship with Christ? They don't. It's mind numbing, but I get it on some other levels, but it's just really disconcerting when you look at it and you see it, and you see people who are very aware, and even more aware than some Christian folk of what's going on. That's what's really even more mind blowing, because there's some Christian folks who are delusional too. They, well, at least they claim Christianity, but still living and doing stuff that don't make sense, or thinking they got 18,000 years as time is wrapping up. Yep, PJ, I'm about to do the same thing because we're getting ready to get off here. But let me say my final saying, and I'll be on next Saturday. So whoever watches this later, give us a like, thumbs up, share it out. Half a bunch of people. My favorite. Disappear off this planet. Don't believe it's the aliens. Get yourself a Bible if you're still stuck here and read. Revelations will tell you a lot. Thessalonians and Matthew. As for me, I wouldn't do that. And I'm praying I'll be gone with the others that disappear and not stuck here. Because if you get stuck here, it's going to be hell on earth. If y'all need something to eat, though, and you can find this crib, hopefully you'll find some people that are like me and they stocked up and there's food to eat. Y'all should stock too, because stuff is still high as hell. Even though they say inflation is going down, I went to the grocery store and paid $30 for out of three or four bags, which I'm like still shocked. But anyway, y'all, next week, next week I'll be doing a video on the $5 investing thing. I'll do a separate video on that. And we'll do another video possibly Saturday or Sunday. Anyway, y'all, be blessed. Y'all be safe. Let me just do a real big go back, make sure I didn't miss anything in my topics. All right, we talked about the head gasket. So both the right and left are okay. You know what? We'll talk about them next week. That'll be a subject next week, talking about some of the politic weirdness and the war that we're not in, that we are in. That book I mentioned, y'all can try to find a used bookstore or on Amazon. It's called Talking Dollars and Making Sense by Brooke Stevens. I recommend it. It's old, but the premise is still a good premise. Oop. Cancel that. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Let's see here. While I'm in here, I'm making a few use of moderators. We haven't really had anybody coming in crazy, but some of y'all I'm gonna make moderators. Hold on, let's see. There we go. We talk about the therapy. I kind of talked about on that a little bit. All right, so that's it. I want to make sure. But next week, remind me, we'll talk about the politics stuff, because I talk about some politics stuff. Not that I'm really a big, I'll just go on my opinion, because I think everybody got the right today. Like I said, you got the right too. We may not agree. We may agree to disagree, and that's okay. That's what America used to be about. And when it was crazy now that everybody trying to force you, and they say what you got to say. If I like what you're going to say, I might pick it up. If I don't like what you're going to say, I'm going to put it down. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Yeah. Anyway, y'all. 2 and 2. I'm gonna eat some of my jalapeno poppers. I got some of those little smokies. I'm gonna put some barbecue sauce on them. Eat those maybe, and watch a movie or something. And then tomorrow, it says I ain't going nowhere. Me in the refrigerator. That's just the refrigerator and the rest of the kitchen. I've pretty much been in there. I'm doing some organization, and I need to get some canisters for utensils. I got a canister, but it ain't big enough. I need to go get some more canisters. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2. Be blessed. Peace.